What will be the syllabus that will come in these examination? CAT examination is also called as an common sense admission test, because this is one of the finest aptitude examination where 90% of the questions are based on your knowledge of the concepts, your understanding of the concepts, and your application of the concepts. 90% of the questions will be covering these three main areas: knowledge based, understanding based, and application based. Hardly there will be 10% of the questions which will come from formulae based. 10% questions will be formulae based, 90% of the questions will be knowledge based. Then it can be an checking out a concept from arithmetic, algebra, geometry, modern maths, para jumbles, para completion, sentence completion, reading comprehension, LR, data interpretation, bar graph, table graph, right, so on and so forth. So they expect students to have a solid foundation of the concepts. It is not going to be an easy path for a student preparing for CAT examination to get a top 5 percentile. He has to be very consistent, very disciplined, and there has to be no other choice other than preparing for CAT examination. That kind of attitude will work for you to get into IIMs. This is the tabular representation of what I said. There will be 3 sections in CAT paper. Section 1, verbal ability and reading comprehension. 24 questions will come from that section. 40 minutes duration will be there. Generally, grammar questions will be extremely low in CAT paper. Generally, the questions will be predominantly it will be from reading comprehension and verbal logic related question. What do I mean by verbal logic? There will be questions from para jumbles, para completion, critical reasoning, verbal reasoning related things. Data interpretation and LRDI, there will be 20 questions, 40 minutes time, and DA and LR. Probably DA and LR is one section where you cannot predict certain kinds of models. The data interpretation, basic models will be there, but it can be a combination of bar graph and line graph. There could be a triangular based graph. There could be a new set of graph that might come in the examination. Here you can probably predict the patterns, recursive and iterative function. That kind of questions keep coming in. Cyclicity with this concept can be solved. But in DI and LR, it can be anything under the sky. Verbal ability and reading comprehension, we expect students to go through economist time and so on and so forth. The important website links from where the previous year CAT papers comes, that I will keep it in the description so that you can bookmark it and you can get into eclectic reading. 40 minutes, 40 minutes, 40 minutes, 24, 20, 22, sectional cutoff will be there, overall cutoff also will be there. These are verbal ability and RC. The questions can be from any of the things. In these subsection, questions will be from MCQ as well as theta based. Here it will be, right, it can be a logical reasoning, blood relation, sets, Venn diagram, maxima, minima, bar graph, line graph, calculation based, arrangement based, sequential based, linear arrangement based, circular arrangement based. It can be anything. Generally, this is one topic where good number of students will be there. Quantitative aptitude. Questions can be from number system, arithmetic, algebra, geometry, modern maths, permutation, combination, probability, set theory. Questions can be from right installment, simple interest, compound interest. Questions can be from number system. The only thing that can be predicted in a CAT paper is paper will be an unpredictable paper in terms of the questions asked. The structure of the paper you can predict it because it is clearly mentioned, right? Quant 2022 24. 2022 24. What will come in DI and LR? Surfacely, you can say that there can be questions that will come from any of these things. He can ask anything. What you have to do is, you have to have an right extreme good understanding of the subject. What will come in this examination? There can be questions that can come from fact, inference and judgment, which probably was not coming from last few years, right? There can be questions that can come from what do you think is the mood of the author while writing the passage, right, which probably was not coming in last few years. Question variety can never be predicted. Number of questions, number of sections, time limit, that can be predicted.